How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at The Messengers. This is from 2007 and is put out by Ghost House Pictures. Ghost House Pictures, Sam Raimi's production company. You may know them for also putting out 30 Days of Night. Cool stuff. Gotta love Sam Raimi there. He's done a ton of work as a producer. This movie is directed by the Pang brothers, Danny and Oxide. They're the same guys that made The Eye. Really classic film there. And this movie stars Kristen Stewart, Dylan McDermott, and John Corbett. And overall, I went into this movie not expecting much. It's Kristen Stewart in a PG-13 horror movie from 2007. Let's just say my expectations were kind of, not great. But I went into this movie and I thought it was actually a pleasant surprise. Now I don't want to oversell it. At its heart, it still is a PG-13 horror movie from 2007, but it's actually mostly effective. You know, there are some good sequences in here, and the movie is shot really well, and it's got a really nice haunted house in it. Overall, I had a bit of fun with it. I mean, this is the same directors as The Eye, so I maybe should have had my expectations a little higher. Overall, it mostly works. Again, though, I don't want to oversell it on you. There are a bit of haunted house tropes in here, and there are a few moments where I can totally see some people groaning, but, I mean, for the most of it, it does work, and it had some fun moments, you know? Now, I totally see why this isn't brought up a ton, and I see why things like, The Conjuring is, significantly better than this, and that's why we talk about it all the time still. But I think this one needs a little bit of a reappraisal. Not saying it's the greatest thing ever, but I looked up a few people talking about this on YouTube, and needless to say, they weren't the biggest fans of it. I think it's alright. I think it's got some good moments. I think it's worth a watch, Again, don't want to oversell it, but I liked it, Anyway, and I think the best way to go about talking about this movie's pros and cons is to talk a little bit about the plot. Now, I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers. I won't cover the end of this movie, but I will go through and analyze a few things, talk about what works and what doesn't, and there is a bit on each side for this movie. So no major spoilers, but let's dig in a little bit and do some analysis. We open up with a pretty fun black and white scene. It takes place in the past, and as we all know, even the not-too-distant past was in black and white. And we see a unseen force kill this family. And then we jump to the present and see a family with the same family layout. Mom, dad, older sister, younger brother. And they're moving into the house now, a few years later, and they're moving out of Chicago because of the incident. And okay, yeah, here's one of the critiques of the film right off the bat. The incident. Kristen Stewart did something, everybody's a little upset with her and doesn't quite trust her now, and we don't know exactly what it is until she says it at the end of the film. Except for there's enough hints where we basically know what it is, and I really don't know why this was hidden from us. It's not a big twist, it's not shocking, it's basically what you expected it was, but for whatever reason they didn't tell you till the end of the movie. It's not a twist, so why keep it so mysterious? And really, if they had just flat out said it early on, we could watch the characters process a whole lot better and talk about it and analyze it, because I think that would have been the better route to go here. But whatever. It's the incident, and now we have to move to this farm in the middle of nowhere, and they go inside the house, and it's a good house. I'm not gonna lie. Really, really love this house. Nice old wood, wallpaper, big creepy rooms, and it's shot super well. You know, the right amount of darkness, but we can still see the cool house. And I don't know, I wanted to go there. I wanted to see it in real life, to touch the wallpaper. I might be a bit of a haunted house nerd. I might just really like old creepy houses. You know, people always talk about if I won the lottery, I would move into this big modern mansion. No. I would find a cool haunted house. That's what I would do. It would be so nice. And okay, yeah, maybe just for me, the house makes the movie. I don't know. But anyway, of course, creepy stuff starts to happen, and yeah, some of the creepy stuff is just taken out of the haunted house toolbox, and there are, you know, like say some jump scares. You know, Kristen Stewart reaches for this toy tractor, and it jumps toward her just a little bit. It rolls forward. Yeah, jump scare, right? And there's a few other ones. Birds, you know, flying at the window, flapping their wings, spooking you. Same level as the fake cat scare, right? We all know the cat scare. And then, of course, there is the classic, the ghost swipe thing where someone's over here and then right in front of the camera, something will go back and forth. Yeah, some cliche scares that are gonna cause some people to groan. Yeah, I don't know. But, you know, that's the thing is I think you see a few of these and it had me prepared for a movie that wasn't as good, but then, you know, kind of all of a sudden, we would be treated to some really good ghost sequences. There's a scene where, like, the kid first sees the ghost in the reflection of his spoon, and it's all distorted. That's a cool idea. I really did like that. There's a really cool scene where the mom's doing the linens, and you get a little quick swipe of a special effects shot of a ghost. And it's really cool. I think the trailers probably spoiled it, but it's really cool. And then, of course, there's a really good scene where Kristen Stewart's holding her little baby brother, and the baby brother sees a ghost slowly coming towards the camera, and of course he sees it, he can't talk, and he's like, oh, ghost, and Kristen Stewart kind of is scared, but she doesn't know. It's right behind her. There's some good scenes in here. And, you know, yeah, there is stuff that's going to make you groan, but there's also some pretty effective scenes. And I also really like the ghost. And I don't think everyone will. I think they got a cool design, and when they move, they kind of have this herky-jerky special effect, which I think some people will absolutely hate. I don't know, I thought it was fun. But you do get some good play out of them, and like, on the back of the box, you can see where all the ghosts, you know, they do several shots of all the hands coming at you. I thought they were fun. Now, yeah, okay, some people will definitely not like them. I like the ghost. The character, the little boy, Kristen Stewart's younger brother, he doesn't talk, but he's, of course, the one to see the ghost because little kids just love them some ghost, and, you know, he'll look, and then later on they get him to point, you know, so you get shots of him, like, over there, you know, but he's young, he doesn't even talk, and, you know, it's hard to make a kid do anything, but I was surprised at just how good they got this kid to act, you know. You hear a lot of people talking about their kids being creepy, and sometimes you see a convincing YouTube video where the kid's just looking off, oh, hello, mister, and there's no one there. You know, there's some, it's a good, believable performance out of this kid. Or kids, secretly it was shot with twins, it's almost always done this way. But a good performance out of these kids, and I really did like the young kid character. Yeah, we've seen him before in other ghost movies, but a little younger this time, and I do like just, you know, how good of a performance they got out of this little kid. And of course, Kristen Stewart will also see some things. She'll run around, she'll get spooked and scream, and Kristen Stewart's good in this movie. You know, I know she got a lot of people complaining about her because of Twilight and stuff. And yeah, she does play an angsty teen in here, but overall, I think she does a good job. That being said, the idea of, I saw something, and then the parents going, we don't believe you, darn you, Kristen Stewart. It does get a little repetitive, you know, where she keeps seeing stuff, and of course the parents keep not believing her, so yeah, it doesn't feel like we're quite making progression. And also, man, the birds. I hinted at them earlier. The dad keeps getting attacked by birds that want his sunflower seeds, and this is a ghost movie, but a few more bird scares and we would have shifted into a creature feature like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds or something. They do try to get way too much mileage out of these birds. You know, there's the dad and he gets like a hired hand who has to like shoot his gun if he wants them to go away. And they're just, I don't know, it's just a little too much mileage out of them, you know? They're just trying a little too much to do too much with these birds. The sequel is actually called The Messengers, The Scarecrow. Really should have put up a scarecrow here. But also, the seeds. Yes, the dad is planting sunflower seeds in this movie. He is going to raise a sunflower farm, which, I don't know, it's just, yeah, I get people really do that. It just seems a little oddly specific, you know? Darn you, Kristen Stewart, getting us kicked out of Chicago, and now we have to go start a sunflower farm. And it's also one of those occupations that I know must, like every occupation, has real stress, even if we don't see it, and brings real tension. But when you get scenes like, this sunflower farm is going to financially ruin us. I mean, it's hard to convey stress for something like a sunflower, you know? That's like having a tough day at the butterfly garden, you know? It must happen, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it's just not a grim profession, you know? But anyway, I won't spoil it, but the end of the movie has a shift that doesn't 100% work. It's like, here's what the evil really is. Here's what the threat of this movie really is. And it's something that I even saw coming. I was like, well, that would make sense if this was this. And then, of course, you get the reveal, and they're like, oh, this is what's going on. And it's like, I saw it coming, but at the same time, the tone and the dramatic weight didn't shift enough to... Because it feels abrupt. It feels like all of a sudden we're going from one movie to another, and I really wish that it had done some subtle tonal changes, provided maybe, like I said, I got what it was going to be, but still, I wish there was bigger hints just for the sake of slowly changing the tone rather than, you know, a dimmer switch rather than a light switch, you know, because it just felt like it shifted a little too abruptly at the end there. But anyway, I don't want to complain too much, because I think a lot of people have complained about this movie. I think most of it worked, and there are some really fun moments. I like it when ghost movies don't, like, there are subtle moments, there are quieter moments, and you do need that, but I like it when ghost movies go a little bigger, and later on we would see James Wan with Insidious and The Conjuring, which, you know, kept it scary, but still did manage to swing a little bigger. And this movie, I mean, there's a reason we talk about The Conjuring and not this one, but I still like, you could see it was trying to do things that Wan would do more successfully later. And I don't know, I feel that this is an interesting precursor to that. Like I said, though, there are some frustrating and goofy moments, lots of haunted house tools that we've seen used time and time again, and, you know, yeah, the plot isn't the biggest reveals or anything super crazy, and at one point Kristen Stewart picks up her baby brother and uses him like a ghost radar, which was kind of silly as well. So I don't want to oversell it, and I don't want to say it's the best thing ever. I just want to say it's relatively solid, and I enjoyed watching it. Not great, but a fun ghost movie, you know? Maybe think of it as a cool B-side, you know? I will definitely, pretty soon, check out The Messengers 2, The Scarecrow. I don't necessarily have the highest hopes for it, because, you know, they didn't make a third one, but I am curious to see what happens next. So, overall, not my strongest recommendation. For those of you that are more jaded out there, you probably won't appreciate this, but I think it is something worth seeing, and if you're not the jaded crowd that complains all the time, you'll probably enjoy this enough. Good sequences. I think especially if you're a little new to horror, and this is a PG-13, it's a good introductory ground, you know? I think it's cool. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. How about my Ghost House playlist, where you can see my reviews for things like 30 Days of Night. I also covered another one of the vampire movies, Lucy Liu and Rise Blood Hunter, and I'm also working my way through their direct-to-video Ghost House Underground stuff. I covered The Tattooist and, was it Room 205? So I'll be working on getting more Ghost House stuff out soon, and I've got a few of them right here in this playlist if you want to see more. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.